Hello, my name's Nell Andrew and I'm a National Officer for GMB Trade Union. I head up the National Equality and Inclusion Department, and GMB represents members in construction, manufacturing, commercial services and public services. So our members told us that they found a number of websites quite challenging to use, and the reasons behind that were to do with the font that was used, the size of the lettering, perhaps the background colour. Many of the members told us that where there were longer documents such as PDFs, there was just too much information to process, and for some people that the information that they wanted to get hold of just wasn't in the right language for them or the needs of their members. So listening to members and working in consultation with members and activists and working closely with Recite Me, we've created a package, an accessible toolbar on the website that does a number of really exciting functions. So those people visiting our website now, you'll be able to use the accessibility toolbar, and you'll be able to change the font, change the size of the font, the background color, download not just PDFs but also in a sound file if that suits you better. Also, really importantly, be able to change into up to 100 different languages. And the feedback we had from members was incredible. The quote that I always use is a game changer, that this was a game changer in terms of inclusion and accessibility. So we're really proud of the work that we've done with Recite Me. GMB is committed to making all workplaces inclusive and for members to be able to thrive, not just survive. So it was important to us that people could access our website, whether it was to join GMB, whether it's to find out more about your rights, or whether it's to get active on one of our campaigns. So having that communication, being an inclusive space and knowing that our members felt really supported and involved in that practice was really important to us. So I think in the future we wanted to see more of this. We want to see more employers adopt, whether it's reason adjustment policies or whether it's more accessible websites like ours with Recite Me. I think the future is more accessible resources and thinking about people's needs and how you share information. We've definitely learned a lot through this process, and I'd really encourage other people to consider how they share information and how others might be processing that information or able to engage with your services. So I'm neurodivergent myself, and proudly so. I'm both dyslexic and dyspraxic, and I found out that I was dyslexic when I was about 17 and that I was dyspraxic when I was about 35, so quite a gap. And I found out that I was dyslexic due to my college. I'm so grateful that my college did a screening program for all new students and picked up that there was a problem there, and I received the diagnosis that I was dyslexic shortly afterwards. And I think whilst this hasn't removed all of the barriers or difficulties that I as a dyslexic person might face in the world of work, it's made a huge difference having that diagnosis. It's enabled me to both understand some of the difficulties and challenges that I face myself, being able to ask for reasonable adjustments and communicate my needs to an employer, and I think also recognise my unique perspective, thinking differently, what I bring to the table as a dyslexic worker. And I'm really proud of being able to talk about neurodiversity as part of my work, as well as my lived experience, to be able to share the experiences that our members face in the workplace, good and bad, and really support employers into making a difference to creating a more inclusive work environment. And ironically, this is how I found out that I was also dyspraxic at 35. I was leading on some work around thinking differently in the workplace. We were creating some materials and resources with members and other colleagues. And I, on a whim, decided to test out one of the dyspraxia screening tools that had been recommended to us to just sort of test it out, and was really surprised to find out that I was also dyspraxic. My colleagues and my friends, I think, were less surprised, which was really interesting. Sometimes, you don't see all the different barriers or the different ways that you think differently to people around you. And I think it's, again, been really, really useful to understand myself better, express my needs, and to see those unique talents and differences that I bring to the table, but particularly engaging with our members and really understanding where they're coming from and being able to share my experience on those issues. So really proud of the work that GMB has done, and really proud to be a neurodivergent worker myself.